Stop Lying and I met because she was a radical feminist. She's Australian. She's on the other side of the world. And we were in the same spaces. She saw, when we were talking about being targeted earlier on by radical feminists, she saw her friends do this to me. And now her and I are friends, and she doesn't speak to them because, you know, she basically saw what was happening and how I was being treated. So basically, these women are like, as Stop Lying was saying, I think it was like fucking, you know, there were spaces being held on Twitter where a lot of these women were going, and I think it was like Andrea Dworkin or something they were listening to. And it's not every woman that was in that space, by the way. But yeah, one of these women, you know, she comes on as a radical feminist to talk about domestic violence. Didn't know what a TERF was or anything about the trans stuff. Nino told her what it was. She played with us for a while and pretended that she cared. But within a few months, it was very clear that she was a total TRA. A lot of these rad femmes were attacking, you know, Posey and her character and what she was doing and fucking things up for her in Australia. And there were women on here in Posey's kind of group thing, like, you know, that helped her. There were women on this app at the time that were like besties with Kylie, and they're in the background and all the rest of it. As soon as Posey Parker came back to Twitter and she got her account back, things changed, you know, with certain people, because then they thought, oh, wait a minute, Posey's going to see me now siding with this fucking Kylie arsehole on the other side of Australia who thinks men should get into the toilets, who cannot keep Posey's fucking name out of her mouth. So it's never ending on here. It's like a conveyor belt. I would have left here a hell of a long time ago, like probably months just after I joined. But there's nobody out there talking about women in prison. But I mean women who have been in prison. There are no women who have been in prison talking about women in prison. And then when you do get them, there's maybe one or two, but then they've never been in prison with men. So then I've got I've been in prison with men because it wasn't just one, it was two. And so I'm like, if I stop speaking, it means that the women in prison wouldn't have a voice apart from the academic voice. Sometimes I feel like you're fucking lucky, do you know what I mean? That somebody's fucking here. Ugh.
The safest people for me to be around are people that don't have affiliations. The only affiliation they have is human, you know, number one.
Yeah, because you're looking at it on a spiritual level. Humans are humans, and
Yeah,
you know,
man.
we're all worth the same. And like, and I want the women to know as well. Like, if I say, do you know how we get pissed off if we talk about men and people say, not all, it's not all men, and we're like, oh, fuck off, we are not all men.
Mm-hmm.
When I speak, I hope that comes across, because I don't want to have to preempt everything and be like, not all feminists,
you
or
don't
not
have
all
to.
rad
Yeah.
femmes. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, my experience, that's who it's been. That just happens to be who it has been that's done it, which really confuses me. Because I used to be in like a lot of spaces, and Stop Lying can vouch for this, in group chats where there was a lot of lesbians, and they were like radical feminists, whatever, but they were separatists. I didn't know what that was, right? So they're like, we want to fuck off and get away from all the men, and you know, blah blah blah. And but I didn't give a fuck. Like, I wasn't sitting there thinking, oh my god, how dare you say that? I've got a husband and 4 sons, and like, because that's not the way my mind works. I
Well,
don't
I
get
can hear
annoyed
it.
when these
Sorry.
women want to.
I
I don't
can
like
hear the voice. Yeah.
getting annoyed when these women say this, but sometimes, yeah, they get annoyed. Maybe they've got internalised. We talk about internalised homophobia. Maybe they've got internalised like motherphobia or something. I don't know. Oh my god, Alina, I need to tell you this. I forgot to tell you this, right? So, one of the feminists that I was talking about, you women would have heard if you were here earlier when May was in, and she's like, Amanda's a dyke lover, Amanda's dyke, this and that, the next thing, right? And because it's just a Scottish word we use, right? It's a lesbian dyke. It's just what we say in Scotland. So anyway, This woman kind of shouted at me and she's like, you can't say dyke unless you're a lesbian or bisexual. And I'm like, well, I'm bisexual, but you don't need to know that because I'm married to a man for the past, 20 odd years. So what has it got to do with you? It'd be a bit weird if I ran about telling everybody I was bisexual when I've been married since I was 5. Like, weird. But anyway, so this woman wrote this big post saying, you're not allowed to say that. So I just basically wrote a post saying, well, I can say it if I want, and I'm bisexual, or something that I wrote, dyke, 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 fuck off. So the little anonymous people that were hating on me in the background, do you know they actually phoned the police on me? And then trying to make it that I'm so homophobic and all that. And I'm like, fuck right off, man. Stonewall Out was her name on here on Twitter, right? And I thought, oh, that's who it is. So this wee fucking lesbian is trying to get me fucking put in jail. A woman who's already been in prison, right? For a homophobic fucking hate crime. So as a woman who's on here trying to speak out for women in prison to get doxxed by a feminist, and then all the shit that's happened to me since then that nobody knows about because I've not been there, to then have this little arsehole phone the police on me and try and get me put in prison. Like, fucking fuck off. No wonder people are frightened on here. Scotland, did you remember what you were going to say?
I didn't, but I just wanted to add that's not even that was just the first time someone called the cops and tried to get Amanda arrested for a homophobic hate crime, so called. The second time was the supposedly gender critical gay man who's been stalking her for a year and a half. She's not homophobic at all. It's just absolute crap, and they know it. So yeah.
Yeah, the guy she's talking about, the stalker, that's, if anybody doesn't know, his actual name on Twitter is Doubting Thomas. His fucking stalking name is The Other Listener. So yeah, he has been recording me for about a year and a half because I blocked him. He records, before he came out as The Other Listener, he was recording my spaces incognito, and then posting them and saying that he enjoyed listening to ruffian porn. That honestly made me violently sick to think that that gay man is just even putting. I don't care if he calls me a ruffian, but the fact that it's ruffian porn, that makes me feel sick. But do you know why you don't know? Because I'm not in your DMs telling me. But the worst thing is he just records me and then clips it and deletes it and then just puts all the times I say swear words all into one big fucking one big fucking thing. And I'm just like, oh, fuck off. But it's the sexual element that worries me the most, right? Not even just the stalking and coming into every space I'm in. How the fuck this cunt can sit in every space I'm in and record everything I say and then have the patience to sit and edit it and clip it and listen to it again and again and again, right? That's kind of like, I want to wear your skin, weirdo fucking shit, right? So what I'm saying is, I've been here for so long and nobody, I know you probably think I sound like a broken record sometimes when I go, nobody fucking sticks up for me, right? But I'm like, they fucking don't, and if they're not sticking up for me, they're fucking scheming behind my back. And I'm just like, where is this feminine solidarity or feminist or whatever it is you're supposed to be? Because it doesn't matter. Some people can't support you in public because of the way they talk about you in private. We've all got probably a lot of fucking mental health issues and stuff. So, a lot of the quiet people that don't speak, that's the thing. You never know what's going on in the background. You always know what's going on with the people that want to tell their whole story on Twitter and on Spaces like 6 times a week. But you don't know what's happening in the background with the people who aren't speaking or whatever. So we can never just assume or judge. But
there's a woman that went into this dickhead Mike. He's a really nasty piece of work. And I think it was a tranny in there saying that, see if we get Amanda banged up in prison with men, see how she likes that at some point. And this woman who'd been going all around the place seeking sympathy from everyone, that sort of like took the piss in the long run, actually turned around and said about Amanda, that would be a good thing or something like that. Did you hear that, Amanda?
Yeah, because I said the recording, but now Grace is her best mate. Now, because I don't go in and automatically fight with everyone and argue on a fucking Twitter thread, I'm not a good friend. but I'm expected to class you as a good friend when you're cozying up now with a woman who literally was going out her way to cause my demise with the fucking trannies and the gay men.
Yeah, literally sticking up for her in a space when it was pointed out that she was a TRA. When then it was like, oh no, but she's been attacked and you just don't know the full story from both.
What's the famous thing? I'll DM you. I'll DM you. Like, fuck off. No, honestly, I'm sick of it. I'm just like, everybody's known everybody for 20 million years, and you're not supposed to share screenshots, but I've got every single screenshot. Don't share screenshots from a group chat, but I've had 11 million people messaging me and DMing me with screenshots and recordings and this and that. So it's just like, right, okay, well, unless there's like hundreds of people sitting recording in these spaces, or they're all sitting incognito to send them to you, the Don, I'm getting quite sick of I'm just getting quite sick of hearing it.
So, this is the woman who was closing the space 2 hours ago. I appreciate you informing everyone of the history, Amanda. The purpose of this space was trying to figure out how to control ourselves to not be reactive. Do we have a Thursday space?
It doesn't matter who's having our space, just have your space whenever you want. That's what Towley says anyway. We should be, we should be able to stick up for each other. It doesn't need to be a pack mentality. It doesn't need to be a horrible thing. But if people are getting picked on and we don't even know, like, because we're not seeing it, because we're not even, there's probably a lot of us that do that all day and nobody even sees it because we're not calling in the troops. We're not fucking in DMs going, come and sort this out, come and back us up. We're probably in fights all day that nobody ever even sees.
But that's where Grey Rock comes in.
But can I say one thing, Jasmine, about that Grey Rock thing? Because when you talk about triggers, right, I don't ever use the word trigger, right? But I'm just going to say that word pisses me off, right? And do you know why?
But I don't have a better one. Is there a better one?
But can I tell you why it pisses me off? Because see, the rad femmes and the feminists that and academics and all these women that have fucking doxed men, done or whatever, right? When I try and call them out in their bullshit, their answer is, let's Grey Rock her.
I understand, Amanda. I understand.
It sort of becomes like, this is not working. Ignoring isn't working. So maybe talking about it is what you try then.
I was thinking of doing that. I was thinking of having spaces about specific things that have gone on a few months now and inviting all the people involved in to have them. But technically, that's kind of a car crash drama space. But then again, they're not going away either.
And I just want to say one thing as well. I know that sounds a bit fucking me, right? But just because there's people in here that I maybe don't normally get to talk to, right? When I don't get in engaging in fights and arguments, one, it's not really my thing. And two, it brings a lot onto my family when I do that. So please, if you ever, like, it's not because I don't care about MD. If I don't, I need to choose my battles.
I will say that it's like a very complicated situation for people to work out.
Yeah, can I just say that as well, Spike? You're like,
hold on, Amanda.
Can I just say one thing?
No. You just talked for 2.5 hours, Amanda. Do you recognize that?
I didn't talk for 2.5 hours, did I?
Yeah, I wanted to close the space at 3:30. It's now 6:12. Personal experiences aren't the point. I was trying to figure out from you guys I'm sorry, I'm tired. From the creativity of you guys, what you think going forward will work best for us. Because the other thing I've said multiple times since the spring, when everything was falling apart and people were tearing each other's eyes out for 3 months, is you have new people coming in these spaces all the time, and they would see women in here screeching at each other, and you never saw those women again.